5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the post-match discussion of this first ODI between India and England, which was played at Pune. And India vanquished England by 66 runs. It's first time after last 5 ODI series that India have won the first game of the series, because as we were discussing yesterday in the preview, that it was quite a norm for India losing the first game and then coming back from behind. But this time around, India have managed to win the first game. Couple of debutants for India, Prasidh Krishna and Krunal Pandya making their debuts. England won the toss, chose to ball first. A cautious start for India by Shikhar Dhawan and Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma getting out was injured as well. A ball of Mark Wood, which jumped and he got hit on the elbow. But the highlight of Indian innings, Shikhar Dhawan, unfortunately missed on his 100, but a well-made 98. Along with that, Virat Kohli's 56. So the wait for his 71st 100 is still on, but a brilliant 56, a majestic 56. And then it was the debutant who actually made a record 50. The fastest 50 on debut is now the record, which is held by Krunal Pandya. He brought up his 50 off just 26 balls, 58 not out. Along with that, KL Rahul, Rishabh Pant was dropped and KL Rahul was brought in. 62 not out for KL Rahul, and he's proved that it was just the Narendra Modi Stadium which was the hurdle in his success. So 62 not out. This was slightly on a lighter note. 112 not out partnership for the sixth wicket for India. 317 for 5, a mammoth total. But in response, Jason Roy and Johnny Bairstow came all guns blazing as they put up 135 runs opening stand. Post that, Prasidh Krishna and Shardul Thakur came in form, and it's now being a habit for Shardul Thakur grabbing 2 wickets in an over. He did it in the 4th T20I, 5th T20I, and today also in the 25th over. So after that, England just lost their track as they lost another 10 wickets in just 116 overs, especially the last 116 runs, especially the last you can say, especially the last 5 wickets, they lost within just 34 runs. So now, for more of the discussion, I have former DDCA cricketer and current match referee, Mr. Varun Kumar, with us. Good evening, VK. A brilliant game, but on both the sides, the competition was even. A brother duo in the form of Sam Curran and Tom Curran for England, Krunal Pandya, Hardik Pandya for India. India also lost the plot in middle overs, losing quick wickets. England also did the same, but the only difference is what India recovered, but England just could not recover.
Well, good evening, Utkarsh. Yes, I mean, if we look into this game, a lot of, apart from like cricket, but a lot of records were being made into this game, and we can also say that the players who were termed as not in form by a lot of people, that they are in the squad but not performing well, but they have come up with some great performances like Shikhar Dhawan, KL Rahul, and even for the England team, Bairstow coming up really well. He was also short of runs in Test match, so I can say this game was more or less good for those people who were struggling for getting runs or struggling to perform for their respective team. But overall, yes, it was a very good game. We saw a lot of seesaw kind of stuff in this game. First, when England started their bowling, there was a lot of movement. They were getting in the wicket, and very cautiously both opener played first 10-15 overs. They played really well. They didn't got a very flyer kind of a start, but they managed to intact the wicket, and that really helped Indian team to reach a big total the way Kurnaal
Yeah.
and KL Rahul made a lot of runs in last 10 overs. And yes, Shikhar again shows that how good he is on top of the order, especially in this format. And also KL Rahul coming back to the runs, and really happy for him because he's a class player. We all know that. It was just matter of a day actually, and really we must applaud team management also, that they backed him and showed all the confidence in him. So that is the right way to back your best players, and
Yeah.
because they know that on given day they will always come up with performances like this, which really helps the team. So we know that India made a good total, but the way England started their innings, it was looking as if they
It's
were
scary.
really
Yeah.
going to finish the match in 40th over. But it does happen, but it happened in Indian way only. But but it was really an amazing start, and after that, what a comeback by the Indian bowler, especially the debutant bowler Krishna. He bowled really well, and he showed he was looking really good, but he was really hammered in first couple of overs. Although
Yeah.
he was bowling well with a good rhythm, good pace, good bounce, and he shows that he showed all of us that he got a lot of capabilities. And once again, that the routine in which Indian team is playing these days, like anyone is coming, all newcomers are coming and they're performing so well. Kurnaal played so well. He got a
Yeah.
wicket also in his debut match. This Krishna, this bowler, I mean, he got 4 wickets. So that list of players is increasing in Indian team, and the way everyone is performing, this shows that that domestic circuit of Indian cricket, IPL, this really helping all these youngsters whenever I mean, they are just ready to come to the international cricket and performing for Indian team. That is really a great sign. So if we talk about the game, yes, India did really made a great comeback, and somehow England, we can't say that England played any bad shot. It was Indian bowling where they bowled really well, and
Yeah.
that middle part where 2 3 wickets uh, fall apart in a quick succession, and after that India never gave any chance to them, although there was little partnership between Billings and Moeen Ali, which was looking little threatening. But then the experience of Bhuvnesh Kumar, and with great line and length, he bowled superbly well since his comeback to the Indian team from
Yeah.
T20 matches onwards. So we can say, I mean, it's overall it was a very good game for both of from both side, and very happily and very proudly we can say that India did really well and managed to win this game.
Yeah. Yeah, today it felt that England actually missed Joe Root and Jofra Archer. But now coming first back to Shikhar, you mentioned that he wasn't amongst the runs, and today he got big runs. Unfortunately, missed on 100, so got out on 98. But this innings is has a larger context as far as Shikhar Dhawan is concerned, because Shikhi, um, many were actually speculating about his place in the team, as you mentioned. So this 98 has a larger context to it, as he's now silenced his critics and cemented his place in the team as far as
See,
the
I
ODI
mean,
format is concerned.
see, if we look into this thing, I mean, I will really feel little. I mean, if he needs to cement a place, I mean, if he need to prove, then I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
this is not the right thing, because if we look into
yeah,
this time that last series he played, it was in Australia, where he did pretty well. I mean, and after coming from Australia, it was only that one T20 game which he played. He was not part of Test
yeah,
cricket, and he played that only single T20
absolutely.
match. And that game India lost, and in that game India batters didn't bat that well. They scored 120 odd only, and after that he was just sitting on a bench only for last 4 games. And after that, this inning it came in front of him, where he scored and he performed really well. And yes, but yes, it was really very very important innings for him, because there were a lot of
Yeah,
questions were coming on his abilities and about his and questions to retain his place in the team, because a lot of other players are now coming up and they're doing really well, and we can
yeah,
be so that is the reason in that case it was really important. And really happy for him, because he deserved uh, to be, I mean, to be part of this team. And as Virat Kohli mentioned before this game itself, that Rohit and Shikhar will going to open in ODI format. And the other, but we can see the positive note of this, that that we Indian teams have now so much of players, so much of, there is a group of players where Indian team can make uh, three different teams for three different formats. I mean, they have
yeah,
so many good players now, and it's not about the talented players; it's about the match winner players. You can see players like Rishabh Pant, Natarajan, Washington Sundar, who currently a very consistent performer, and they were not able to make it into 11. And there is one more player who is not in the squad, that is Mayank Agarwal. He was your prime batsman in Australia. I mean, when he was playing there. I mean, so
yeah, yeah,
this shows that there is a lot of competition is there. So
yeah.
there's a lot of pros and cons, but I see a lot of positives in this system,
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
And I must applaud in team management and
Team
captain, the way they
management
are
and
handling, because see, it is all a lot of headache is also there for them to make first 11, to
yeah,
select
yeah,
their first 11. It is not that easy. Even the player like
correct.
Akshar Patel, who did so well, and he's more of a shorter format player, and still he's not able to find his place in this ODI team. But we've seen that they backed Kunal Pandya, and he shows today that how good he is in for this format. And if we look into this thing, still there are so that prime players of Indian team like Mohammad Shami, Bumrah, Jadeja, they are not part of the team right now. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you don't miss them right now, because the other players are doing so well, and other players are really stepping in into their shoes and filling up that space so well, and they are performing well. They are winning matches for Team India. So it is a very good sign for future that a lot of players are there. I mean, if
yeah,
I think it won't be a long time now that India might be pitching in two teams for two simultaneously, and parallelly they will be playing two different series, and they can pitch in with two different teams. So it's a good sign for
yeah.
Team India.
Even Devdutt Padikkal and Prithvi Shaw, two top run getters of the Vijay Hazare Trophy, didn't find their place in the squad, and Mayank Agarwal also could not make the cut. But now coming to one selection decision, KL Rahul comes in. It's okay, but dropping Rishabh Pant when he was in form, and when he had that confidence on number one. Uh, do you agree with the decision to drop Rishabh Pant? Surya Kumar could not make the cut. It's absolutely um, understandable, but dropping Rishabh Pant, do you think? Uh, can you actually see where this Indian team is heading? Are they really looking at KL Rahul for keeping in 50 overs?
See, I mean, if we look into this batting lineup, yes, Rishabh is in form, no doubt about that. The way he played in Test matches, but again, I will say that last series, which was in Australia, the last one-day series, that was happened before the Test series in Australia, and that time Rishabh was not even the part of the one-day squad, and it was KL Rahul only. Since last 1 year he was playing as a wicket keeper batsman, and he was doing really well, and he did very well in that middle order spot, and he is very consistent. It is just that last two series he was not getting runs, but we all know that he is a class batsman. And yes, if we look into the current form of Rishabh, but the thing is that you again there is a fact that the Indian team will have five will be the batters and six will be the bowlers, including all rounders. So any batsman will come in. They need to rotate within those five players only. Surya is in form, Rishabh is in form, and Shubham Gill is sitting out. So, but if they will come in, then someone like of Suresh Iyer, or even you need to make rest to Rohit Sharma or Shikhar Dhawan to pitch in those players. And I think the management is very much clear that they are marking their players for
Yeah,
respective formats. Like if Rishabh is there, so he's getting a first preference ahead of KL Rahul now in T20s, and Rishabh is there now ahead of Vridman Shah also in Test matches because of his batting abilities.
okay.
So the team management is surely pitching up the players and marking those players for these particular players are specified for these particular formats. So same way, I guess that is the reason KL Rahul got a preference over Rishabh Pant is this game,
Okay.
and
Okay.
technically, if you look into this, that technically he is more equipped as compared to Rishabh. And coming at number
Yeah,
five,
yeah.
you need someone like a KL Rahul who can, if there are some early wickets, he can steady the ship. If you want to attack, he can goes in that way also. So he's an ideal choice at number five, and yes, Rishabh will get his
Yeah.
chance too, because if we have to look now how Suresh Iyengar's injury is, so if he is not getting fit for the next game, and there are chances that Rishabh Pant or Surya Kumar Yadav can come into playing 11 for next game.
Yeah, yeah, he has definitely has both the gears in his batting, be it the defensive or the attacking one. But now coming to Kuldeep Yadav, we saw none for 68 in his 9 overs. He was bowling. But do you think the break which he's had, he was out of the team for quite a while. His confidence has dipped. Do you think this was the reason uh, behind his bowling today, that he was not in his groove and he was not in his rhythm? So the biggest reason, do you think, is it's the confidence which has dipped?
See, obviously, I mean, confidence holds the key for any player or any sportsman. And yes, he's been sitting out. He was not getting regular chances, so that thing must be playing in his mind. But the other positive fact is that, despite of all that things, that he still got a chance to play in 11 as a prime bowler, prime spinner, and that shows that team management is showing the confidence in his abilities. And again, I will say that it is like they are very well marked players. I mean, if Kuldeep is there, he's your prime spinner for one day format. Otherwise, if like the case of Rishabh Pant, same can goes for Washington Sundar also. I mean, he was there, and despite Kurunal as a left-arm spinner was there, still Kuldeep played this game. So I will say Kuldeep is your first prime spinner, and Kunal is backing him with his batting abilities. So Kuldeep, and I also feel that Kuldeep was bowling well. It's just the fact that the first half was totally dominated by the England batsmen. It's not only Kuldeep, but every bowler or just getting their ball towards the fence only in the first half. So, but still Kuldeep was bowling at a good areas. He was getting some little turn, although there was not much turn in this track. It was a totally flat track and with a good bounce, but still he was bowling at a good areas, and I'm sure he will come back hard in second game. And I'm sure that Indian team continue with Kuldeep for remaining two matches.
Okay, okay. Now you mentioned about the debutants, and what a time it is for the debutants to debut for India. A brilliant debut of Ishan Kishan, then a blockbuster debut of Surya Kumar Yadav, who have been waiting in the ranks for quite a while, and today we saw Krunal Pandya. So it's the best time for every player to debut for India, because the time is good, and every player thus far in the limited overs game have reached the 50 plus score on debut today. It was Krunal Pandya, record 50 put up in just 26 balls. But now in this case, do you think that it is the IPL which is nurturing the players, and the players IPL is the reason why the players are now ready made for the to play at the topmost level with that much pressure, but they just play normal cricket. So it's the IPL which actually acclimatize player with that kind of pressure and that kind of you can say that kind of ambience around.
Definitely. I mean, IPL really holds the key, especially the players are getting all that exposure, all that experience of international cricket, international players, that experience of big crowd, media exposure is there, then live coverage on a large scale. So all that really makes a lot of difference, and it's not only in IPL now, even in BCCI domestic circuit, where there are a lot of matches now. Earlier there used to be only five games for any state player, but now they are getting around 14 to 15 games per season, and every team there are like team state can pursue three professionals also from different other state players, and that also giving chance to those state teams, like weaker state teams. They are playing with three professional and strengthening their team. So there is a equality in opponent now in domestic circuit, and which gives a lot of competition amongst all the teams. And even the domestic circuit is coming live on Star Sports or Star. So all that thing really giving a lot of exposure to all these players to show their talent, their skills, their abilities. And yes, definitely IPL really hold the edge, and the way IPL is conducted, the way these players are performing in IPL, they're playing in IPL, and especially just for example, I mean, like Prasad, this bowler, the Krishna who
Prasid
made the
Krishna.
debut today, he got four wickets in Indian jersey, but he was almost like, it seemed that he was a part of this team since last 1 or 2 years, because he was in IPL. He already made his name, and he already played amongst a lot of these players. He is playing under Morgan captaincy, and now he's bowling him in this game.
Against him.
So he is very much confident. I mean, if he's looking in front of him, that Morgan is uh, batting in front of him, he's very much confident. Otherwise, any bowlers coming directly from the domestic circuit to this level, there used to be a lot of hitch, or you can see a lot of butterflies in stomach. Still, that nervousness is always there for any player, but yes, they are much more high in their confidence, and they are very much they back their abilities, and a lot of backing is also given by the team management, the captain, the senior players. So that also really helps these new and young players, and to show their class and skill. And we can see the result. It's been going on since Australian tour. Anyone is coming with any, all the new faces are coming, making their debut. It's not about just making their debut, but they are winning matches.
Yeah. Today, this game also saw various injuries, starting from Rohit Sharma, Sam Billings, Shreyas Iyer. Shreyas Iyer went for the scans, and he looks a bit dicey to play IPL as well. So you can actually think of the extent of the injury. Partial dislocation is what is being communicated by the BCCI, sorry, and Rohit Sharma also got injured. He didn't take the field, but everyone is expecting that Rohit Sharma will be on the field, or rather will be in the team for the next game. But let's hope for their speedy recoveries. Sam Billings batted as well. But now talking about England, they had a very good opening stand, 135. Unfortunately, Bairstow also missed on his 100. He got out on 94 at 94. Uh, Now, Joe Root is out of the side. I don't know for which reason. Best batter of the side, but now it looks uh, it looks easy on the part of India to just get Owen Morgan, Ben Stokes, Roy, and Bairstow out, and rest of the batting looks really fragile. So, do you think that this will be an advantage for the coming couple of games as well?
See, I mean, England batting side, no doubt they got a amazing batting lineup, especially like Moin Ali coming at number 7, and we know he is what he is capable of. But still, I feel sending Ben Stokes at number 3, I really don't feel that that is the right spot for him. Although he does open in T20s, but T20 is altogether a different game. But a batsman like Ben Stokes really are more suited at number 5 or 6, and the problem is that they really missing a player like Root at number 3, because who can, after such amazing start, a player like Root can hold one end and take things very easily to the target. And it's not about only after the long partnership. Even if any early wickets are going on, then a player like Root can steady the ship. He can hold one end, and he's a technically very correct batsman. So I feel if Root is not here, but still I don't feel like Ben Stokes coming at number 3 is a correct decision. They should have tried someone else, because Ben Stokes is a more of a good performer at number 5 or 6, and that is a more suitable place for him in this format of 50 over games. So I
Yeah,
think that is the one place where they really
tactical
miss the
decision.
trick, and that is because after getting a good start, Ben Stokes wicket came early, and that was the time when India got into momentum, and they after that they never looked back. So I'm sure that England management will come up with some different plans for the remaining of 2 ODIs, and let's see how they goes with their batting lineup, because the middle order, they got a fantastic middle order, but it is very important how they tackle with those batsmen and how to use those batsmen according to the situation.
Yeah, yeah. In the last list which I was mentioning, I forgot to mention about Butler. Butler means I would like to add Butler into it because. And do you think sending in Butler up the order can be a better decision, as in to utilize Butler uh, more effectively? Because in this place he comes in at number 5. So if we send if they send Butler up the order, he can actually play his shots because today the foundation was laid very well by both Jason Roy and Bairstow. So if at that point in time Butler was sent at the order, he could have played his open game, his shots, and pressure was, and he can actually put the pressure back on India again.
Yeah, I mean, see, Butler if, coming at number 5, and uh, I see. I mean, he can swipe with Ben Stokes. I mean, Butler can be more useful at number 3 in this current scenario of England team, and or even they can try Sam Blings also, because he's also technically correct batsman and he's a good batsman. And because the problem with the England team is that all their 7 batter are more or like same kind of a player. They all are attackers. They look with the same game plan, whether they're openers or even the Butler. Butler is like you cannot rely whether he will be go for a long innings, or because he's more of a batsman where he like to strike the ball, and he looks like playing for 50-60 balls and scoring 70-80 runs. But yes, in this current scenario, I will go for Butler at number 3 and Morgan at 4 and 5 Stokes, or even they can try Samlings at 3, but then Stokes will be coming two down the order, which will be of no use. So you are very much correct that
Yeah,
it is better. It's a time for England to use Butler at number 3, which can really, if he clicks, then it will be very difficult for the Indian bowlers to handle him. I mean, and that will
yeah,
be much more better choice for Indian team.
yeah. Okay, so this was it for the first ODI. Let's meet it or tune in every match day. Now we'll meet after the second game for the post match review. VK will be there. We'll also be joined by Monty and Shirish Nadkarni. So let's hope for another spicy game of cricket, another good battle between the bat and the ball today. Mark Wood was brilliant, and eventually the Indian openers also tackled him really well. So we hope another good, interesting, exciting game of cricket, and uh, let's hope that India seals the series. It's what we'll want, but a good game of cricket is actually the expectation of every cricket fan. So for now, goodbye, and have a good sleep. Celebrate India's win. We'll meet after the second game.
Good night.